What's the deal? Today's the day. It's episode 2. It's 5 things you need to have in your training program or you'll die tomorrow of AIDS at midday, which is French for middle of the day. If you don't watch this video right now, you're going to die tomorrow in France of AIDS. Let's get to it.
It has come to our attention that
Numero 1, a plan for progression. What I mean by a plan for progression is, do you have a plan to get bigger or stronger after your goal is reached? I mean, if your goal at the end of a program is to squat 140 kilos, do you then have a plan to squat 145 kilos after that? Or do you stand around playing grab ass with your friends celebrating 140 kilos? Bad examples of programs with no plan for progression. 6-minute abs. You do something for 6 minutes and you don't have abs. What do? Nothing. No plan for progression. Another bad example. 20 rep squat programs. Now we all loved this back when we were 15 and we were watching stuff on bodybuilding.com and you thought if you drink a gallon of milk and squat till you're getting sick, that'll work. But not really, because what happens if you do a couple of weeks of 20 rep squats when you're going through puberty? There's a good chance you're going to get injured and you're not going to make that many more gains. Good examples of programs with a plan for progression. For novices, I would say something like Starting Strength by Mark Rippetoe. If you haven't read that, you should. 531 by Jim Wendler is a very, very famous powerlifting program. Very basic, but very effective. Slightly more advanced examples would be the Juggernaut method or the Cube method, both of which I've used. I'm now going to be using the Juggernaut method. I did the Cube method for about 2 years and got some great results out of it. Factors that you can utilize if you're not on one of these programs for newbies. So guys that haven't really trained that much. You could use something like progressive overload. Progressive overload is basically adding slightly more weight to the bar every week. Okay, so for newbies, getting those gains is very easy. So you could just keep adding like 1.5, 2.5 kilos to the bar each week, whether it's your bench press, whether it's your overhead press, your squat, your deadlift. But once you've maxed out your newbie gains, this isn't going to be that effective anymore. Slightly more advanced techniques or factors would be the use of periodization. Periodization is basically concentrating on one strength quality for one period of time. So for 3 to 4 weeks, you could be concentrating on speed. You could be concentrating on hypertrophy, which is building size. You could be concentrating on speed strength or strength speed. Things that I covered in a previous speed video. And basically, one phase will lead into the other, which will lead into the other, which will inevitably lead into you retesting a 1 rep max and setting the bar higher for your strength. So basically, folks, without a plan for progression in your programming, you're going to be like a vessel drifting out to sea. Number 2 on the list. Does your program iron out structural or muscular imbalances? No matter what discipline you are, whether you're a strongman, a power lifter, a bodybuilder, whatever, a fucking ninja, this rule is relevant. So basically, too much of one thing can lead to imbalances. So if you're a serious gym rat bro and you come to the gym, you love doing chest, you do chest 3 times a day, you completely neglect your back, this is going to bring your shoulders forward, internally rotated, it's going to lead to injuries, it's going to lead to stagnation. So how would you counter something like this? If you're doing 100 reps of pushing exercises, you should at least be doing 100 reps of pulling exercises. The same concept rings true for something like a power lifter. So say if you have hit the wall in your deadlift and oh, my deadlift's not going up or I'm not getting stronger at it. Identify what weak link you have and work on it. This could be, oh, I can't lock out my deadlift. I have a weak upper back. Right, I need to do a lot of back work. So to recap on this rule, basically any good program should have you identifying your weak links and working on them, because that's how you progress. Number 3 on the list of things you should have in your program. A prescribed deload or an active recovery phase. What this means is if I'm doing a program that requires me to train very hard and ramp up the intensity for 10 to 12 weeks, I'm going to need rest time for at least 1 to 2 weeks after that 12-week phase. So any good program will have this prescribed already. For those of you who don't know, a deload phase is basically 1 to 2 weeks of completely reducing the intensity and the weights used in your training sessions. So basically anything below 50% of a 1 rep max is literally just to get blood flowing. Now, if you're a serious lifter and you train a lot, even if you're not a serious lifter, and you do not take a deload after a long time, a long phase of training, then you're going to have serious consequences. You're going to be overtrained, you're going to hit a wall, you're not going to get stronger, you're not going to get bigger, whatever it is. So recap, any good program will have you deloading or taking a bit of a break after a hard phase of training. Number 4 on the list, core exercises are compound exercises. Right? So this means the basis of your programming should be around big compound exercises, your bench, your squats, your deadlift, whatever it is. Even if you're an Olympic weightlifter, it's obviously going to be your sport, your cleans and your snatches. If you're a bodybuilder, you should still be concentrating on the power lifts, okay? First off, you should be using the proper form, okay? A lot of bodybuilders especially are scared of using the compound lifts. Oh, the squats are bad for my knees, I can't squat deep. Fuck that. Learn how to do them. Once you learn how to do them, you should be using them all the time to build your foundation of strength and size. Any logical person will know you can't build a house on a foundation of quicksand. I've heard some horrendous examples of this while I've been in the gym. I think it was one night where I was bench pressing heavy and there's 2 benches in my gym. And I saw 2 bros coming in and they had it was obviously a Monday night. There was obviously the bench night for them, or their chest day per se. And I heard one of them say as they were walking over to the bench, actually no bro, we're starting on flies. We're starting on flies. Sorry, but that statement hurts my brain. And I can understand why guys like to go straight to isolation exercises. They like their cable flies. They like using their machines to isolate the muscle. But really, they think this is the way to do it because they look at IFBB pros like Phil Heath or all these professional bodybuilders that they're pumping these machines. But the fact is, these guys started off by going fucking hard. They went hard on the compound exercises for years and years till they built that foundation of size and strength. So as I said guys, the basis for any good programming should be on the big bang for your buck exercises. And last but not least, number 5 on our list, your commitment. Commitment to the program. Don't be a program hopper. Don't do 2 weeks of something, not see instant results and say, oh no, I'm going to run over to this one and change it. Because that's bullshit, okay? Anything good takes time, yeah? And good things come to those who wait. Basically, you need to give a program time. You need to give your 100%, more than 100%, writing out all your sessions in a little book or whatever, keeping log of all the weights you've lifted, and just keep going at it, keep going at it. Do the program to a T as it says, and you will get results. Anyway, folks, that's episode 2 of Higgs TV, down, done, and finished. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks a million for watching, and I'll see you next week for another one.
It has come to our attention that